Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And, I'm just going to come on mic here and ramble a little bit about touring, tour life, tour mentality. A lot of people who aren't in the music industry or are not performers, and again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say, hey, I'm a performer, blah, 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 blah. Even though I've never really gone on a super duper, incredibly long, like, month, 2 month, 3 month tour performing, in the short amount of time that I did for the 12-day stint that I did, I do feel like it did give me a smidge of insight into some of the problems that artists do talk about personally when they are on that tour life. I myself, as a vegan, faced multiple instances traveling, driving from place to place. We're talking long drives, not very many food options around that I could make use of and sort of not like feel like I made a fucking mistake a few minutes later because I'm just like, oh, I ate some fucking bullshit just to like have something to eat. Constantly waking up in a different place. So you have very little in the way of regularity. And if you're going from hotel to hotel and there's varying qualities, some of the hotels are filthy, some of the hotels are disgusting, some of the sheets smell. That can obviously be a strain as well and be a stress too. Moving on from there, I was just with one person who's a good friend of mine, and while at the end of the experience, we had a great time. It was really awesome, and I would have not rather had anyone there by my side because the whole thing just went so well. I could just imagine how stressful that scenario can be if instead of just two guys, one person sort of being the main performer and the other person just kind of tour managing along the way. I can imagine how stressful that scenario can be if you're a small time band, you don't have a tour manager at all, you're making very little money when you go from place to place to place. You're four guys with like competing interests, egos, personalities, so on and so forth, especially if you're talking about a band whose creative process is kind of democratic and dynamic and there's not necessarily a leader of the group. All that can be really stressful because sort of being out on the road, not eating and sleeping in the most ideal fashion, and probably like smelling like crap because some of these clubs aren't all that well ventilated. You're kind of sweating your ass off on stage. You probably don't have a whole lot of time for a whole lot of self-care on the road, especially if you're like a hard rocking and performing rap artist or rock band or something like that. A lot of this is kind of a recipe for disaster, depression, mood swings, that sort of thing. I can certainly see why a lot of artists out there, when they're out on the road, they turn to drugs, they turn to drinking, they turn to groupies, they turn to depressive states because it kind of fills a void and provides a bit of a distraction from your constant lack of grounding from moving place to place to place to place to place with only enough time to kind of maybe grab something to eat, get your bearings a little bit, and maybe see a few sights before you go to the venue. And, hopefully you show up there on time. For a lot of these venues, they're not even expecting the talent to show up on time sometimes. Also, when you get to the venue, you could be dealing with some kind of technical difficulty that could potentially mess the show up in some kind of way, shape, or form. All of these things could add a lot to the stress of the performance, the stress of doing the job that you are there to do. Also, I imagine with varying attendance from place to place, that can, of course, be upsetting and disheartening as well. And you sort of want the tour to be exciting from one date to the next. A final thing that I'll say that kind of makes the tour experience feel so disconnected from reality is that most of the people who you deal with and run into are going to be viewing you through this lens of fame. 95% of the people who you talk to, run into, deal with, if not higher. And fame is a really weird thing. It's like a really odd thing to introduce into an interaction. It almost like poisons the interaction and prevents it from being anywhere near as normal as it could be. And sort of constantly dealing with interactions in that way could certainly warp one's view of themselves in such a way where they might be more prone to make some super unhealthy decisions for themselves or even the people around them. I don't really know why I'm just kind of throwing all of this out there. Maybe it's to kind of give audience members a little bit of insight into this sort of thing, or maybe it's even as a warning to those who might be embarking on a similar experience. I mean, if you're an artist who is popular and you can afford to do it and you know that you're going to make money on it, I mean, touring is great. Touring is a must. You got to do it. And I mean, it's an experience that I wouldn't take back for anything. In fact, I can't wait to do it more. However, I feel like going forward, I myself, I know I'm going to be, and maybe others out there who haven't considered it before either, should be potentially just a little bit more vigilant about the way that the constant grind of doing this can affect your mental health. And also, thanks to everybody who came out to all the dates. You're the best. And, it was a great time. It was a great time every night. It was awesome meeting you guys. It's fantastic to sort of, see what we've become together as a community in person. And, I can't wait to kind of get to know and understand that more and even better with more dates at some point in the future. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Melon tour life. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, tour forever.